Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to thank everybody for stopping by. I announced to a couple people on Twitter yesterday that I'm going to be putting the 3-year run on a hiatus right now, just so Mecha could finish his, and I'm not, on the same chapter as him, because, it's, who wants to watch the same chapter twice in one day, right? So, I'm going to start playing Fe4. It's a long game. That'll let him finish his playthrough. I can still have some fun. Plus, Fe4 is my favorite in the series regardless. So, there's no other way to really pick or start Fe4 without picking your pairings. Because honestly, it's probably the most important part of the game besides the story. And honestly, I had to put 2 people on one line because I couldn't figure out how to make the tier list even longer. But that shouldn't be too big of a deal. I'll just stick the man, like, for example, Beowulf, I'll just stick him, like, in there, just to show that he's going to be married to Bridget instead of being married to Aaron. So, I really just want to start with 18 because her name starts with A, Bridget because her name starts with B. You know how it is. It's semi in order, semi not in order. But, let's just start with 18, I guess. So, really, there's 4 people who I wouldn't mind pairing with her. Midir, Jamkey, they're the basic if you want, Lester to be good. But 18, she's not going to be able to use, the best stats. She could use Physic. But I like using Claude because he gets to pass them A stabs to her. So that way, you could use Rescue right at the start of turn 1 in chapter 6. And that's broken, in my opinion. Like, I absolutely love that, giving it on Leap as early as possible, because he could use it on a mount when he's horseback, and that got super Kanto in Fe4. So honestly, this is who we're going with. The other option would have been Azel, because then we would have got it for chapter 4 plus chapter 5. But Claude, he gives it to us in chapter 5, and we get it for the whole entire generation of Generation 2. And I really, I want that. Plus, it makes the desert parts not feel absolutely horrific, because you could just constantly just zip Seliph around the map. It's really fun to do, and I've never done it personally myself, but I've watched people do it, and I want to try it out. I really do. It would have been nice to be able to have the rescue staff to go all along the trees, in in chapter 4. You know how it is. There's forest everywhere in Solis. So it would have been nice to have it there, especially if you had Rochesis with the leg ring or whatever, and she was Master Knight already. So, like, Claude, this is who we're going with. I'm not talking myself out of it. We're going with Claude. Final answer. Now, Ira, there's a few picks I wanted to go with her. Like, yeah, pairing her up with Holland is funny, but we don't need all the skill. Honestly, they're going to have good skill regardless. I don't mind it, because then, she could give money to everybody, and Paragon would only be like 20 grand for her. But, oh no, sorry, she can't give money to people. But anyway, Paragon would be like 20 grand for her. But I think goes better with Bridget, just because Bridget's daughter is a thief, and she will be able to have bargains, so she could buy herself the Paragon ring and then give money to people. So the only other pairing I could really think of for her is Lex. Because if we team her up with Lex, she gets Paragon, and she gets easy pairing with Joe Javier. And Joe Javier, he really needs the money poured onto him, because he is not a good unit. Like, compared to the Holy Blood kids, he just does not cut out. So we're gonna give Lex to Ira, so she could get Paragon. She could very easily afford that practically every chapter, because she clears the arena, no trouble anywhere. And then she could just dump money on Javier, which I like that idea. And plus, it keeps Dew cleared up, so then we could give Dew's money so then we could give the bargain to our later on thief, who then we could just split the money between everybody. Sylvia, I'm not too sure. I am going to come back to Sylvia, because you get Corporal so late in the game that, like, honestly, it just doesn't matter. And well, plus he uses stabs, so like like, it really doesn't matter. And yeah, like her daughter's just, no, she's a dancer. There's only so much a dancer could do. I'd probably not even pair her up if it wasn't for the fact that inheritance would help her out a lot more. Like, if we give her the night ring, yeah, that's like 20 grand she's sitting on right there. Then she can almost get Paragon, which she'll actually need Paragon as much as we can physically get it onto her. So we're going to come back to her. Now, I mentioned it earlier, we're going to be giving due to Bridget just for the sole purpose of having a bargain on our thief. That's very important to us. Like, oh my god, like, not being able to have Paragon ever on a thief and having to constantly give her away her money, I don't know if we would even promote Patty otherwise. I think this is something that we almost have to do. It's more of a necessity than a want. Like, that is for sure. It's more of a necessity than a want. So that's who we're going to go with. We're going to go with due on her. And honestly, I don't know what else I would be able to do besides that one. Now, Erin, she's not really, like, she is important. I love Erin. I know she canonically she marries my boy Lowen, but for a ranked run of Fe4, there's no other way to put it but besides pairing Talatu up with Lowen. Getting Forseti right after the first castle in chapter 6, that's 20 speed, 10 skill, it's 30 might, like, it's broken. Like, sure, he doesn't have pursuit, but he has wrath. And my god, I think he's probably the best mage in the entire series far on, because he could run up, use Forseti, run back. There's a high chance you're not even going to hit him with another mage to start with. Honestly, I do think that Arthur is probably like the SSS tier mage of any Fire Emblem game. Just, like, sure, he starts off not the best, just because he has to walk everywhere. But my god, he's so much easier to train than Azel, and he destroys everything that you want him to. You could very easily have him promoted by the end of the second chapter. He is phenomenal. I love Forseti Arthur, or Forseti, as some people like to call him. But I know I jumped ahead there. That was completely accident. Erin, you're going with Alec. Erin really doesn't need her dad too much. I mean, said he could use staves as soon as you get him. And Fee, she could use staves as soon as she gets level 20. She's the sole inheritor of the Brave Line, so she'll be the only one using it for the first, like, 2 chapters. I mean, I really want to promote Leaf as early as possible. So Leaf, he's going to be getting Return Band all the ways up to the home castle, so we can clear, the arena, get as many kills as possible, like at the desert part in chapter 7. And so, like, I want someone down there to kill with, with Nana and Finn. So, I need somebody. So she's gonna go down there. She's gonna get a lot of XP in there. She's gonna clear the arena almost every time. As soon as she gets to level 20, she no longer needs to even think about combat. She can just use staves all the time. So, she's gonna go with Alec. That way we just don't have to think about archers. I know archers really aren't too big of an issue in Generation 2, but, might as well have it, right? I mean, there's really not too much competition to be Aaron's husband in this game. In this hyper run, I should say. Now, Lachesis. Well, we gotta go with another basic bitch pairing. Give her to Beowulf. I just don't like having to pay 10k for Beowulf. That's the biggest problem with this character. But, like, that's gonna give Dermot a lot of strength. And strength, that's pretty good for a sword locked unit. I mean, sure, Nana's not gonna have, basically any magic growth, but you really, it's more about the XP with Nana. She's gonna have charm. She's always gonna be on the front lines, and if you don't heal her, that's just somebody else that could get some XP, really. So I'm just gonna pair up the 2 of them, and just do the basic bitch pairing. Like, I'm sorry, but that's what. Sometimes you gotta do it for the rankings, right? It can't all just be about fun. which is, you know, the Claude Nadine, right? That's what this is about. It's just having a little bit of fun. But, you know, I still do want to try going for the S rank. Like, fingers crossed we could get it. Now, who do we pair up with Sylvia? That is the biggest question. Like, we can maybe give her to Arden, just because it's funny. But and we can kind of give her to Finn, but she already has Miracle. Madeir will do nothing for her, like, at all. Nobody gets any staves. So there's nobody left that gets any staves. So there's nothing that we could pass down to Corporal. Honestly, I think we're going to have to go with... My lord, there's really not too many options for Sylvia, is there? Maybe we'll go with... It's gotta be someone on the go all the time, right? Let's pair her up with Holm. Just for a laugh. We'll make that. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. We'll have high strength, high HP Corporal. Corporal will be on the front lines, taking hits for us for days, and maybe we won't have to sit there for 30 turns watching Lean clear the arena because, you know, she'll have a little bit of strength from Holm and a little bit of skill, so we could at least put like the sleep staff to use a little bit easier. But I think this is what I'm gonna go with. I might change Sylvia, but I think everybody else is probably set in stone right now. At least that's what I'm thinking. Now, check in tomorrow, because tomorrow is gonna be the first upload. We don't have to think too much about who gets paired with who, because none of these characters that could even get support bonuses, or that we want paired up, none of them can even start gaining any of the bonuses until the first third of the way through chapter 1. So we gotta do the paralog, but tune in tomorrow, so sub, like, comment, anything you want. We're gonna be starting Fe4 Generation 1 then. I'm gonna be fully narrating the game. I hope everybody enjoys, and I will catch you all later on today for an episode of Pokemon XD.